Yes, we're finally here. Welcome to Talking Horses with me, Horse Racing Rich. We're brought to you today by MaxActionSports.com, home of the internet's only money back guarantee. Well, we're just a few days out from the 145th running of the Kentucky Derby. This year's race is loaded with talented colts, all looking to capture the first jewel of the Triple Crown. For those of you who joined us last year, thank you for your continued viewership. And for those of you who are new, welcome. What we're going to do is we're going to give you a rundown of all 20 horses. We're going to tell you who's going to win, and then we're going to give you the best betting strategies to maximize your profits on Derby Day. Normally, the Kentucky Derby is one of the best betting days of the year, but this year it is a phenomenal betting day. There are massive opportunities all over the board to make some serious cash. Now, without further ado, let's get to some of the horses. War of Will, he showed no turn of foot in the Louisiana Derby and got gobbled up down the stretch run. He's training exceptionally well at 20-1. He's worth keeping an eye on, and that's about the most positive thing I can say. Tax, he's never been a top horse. He got run down by Tacitus in the Wood. No gelding has ever won the Kentucky Derby. That's not going to change this Saturday. By my standards, the number 3 horse. I said it last year about Noble Indy. I say it every year about the Louisiana Derby winner. It's been 22 years since the Louisiana Derby winner has won the Kentucky Derby. By my standards, is probably the best version of the Louisiana Derby winner I've seen in years. He fought through a lot of traffic. He ran down a game spinoff in an impressive performance. But until I see a Louisiana Derby winner do it, I'm just not going to buy it. Great Magician, 50-1, might not even be high enough. I have no idea why this horse is running in this race. He came in second in the Emirates Derby. Drayton Van Dyke is a really nice get for a horse that has no chance, but the best thing he can probably do is just bow out and give somebody else an opportunity. 4, Improbable. Well, he's one of Bob Baffert's 3, probably co-favorites by post time. He ran a really good race in the Arkansas Derby. He got beat by Omaha Beach, who everybody knows by now is scratched. He's had the same connections as Justify as last year. He's not Justify. He's not built like Justify. He's not going to run like Justify. But he is a quality horse. He's shown some grit. He took the mud in that race. Weather is supposed to be muddy on Derby Day. He's a horse to keep an eye on. 5-1's a little short price on him. Maybe it goes up. Maybe it stays right around there. But he's definitely a horse that's going to be in the mix late. Vekoma. Well, he won an absolute trouncing in the Bluegrass Stakes over fellow Derby horse Win. That came after the connection switched to all-world jockey Javier Castellano. To me, he's the best rider in the world, especially when he can take a horse that is good and he can make him great. And that's what he did with Vekoma. Now, Vekoma's awkward running style scares the absolute living daylights out of me, especially over 10 furlongs. I think the best that we can hope for is that he just tires. I think the worst is that he breaks down. I'm scared for this horse, and I'm scared to watch this horse run this long with that style. Maximum Security, it's 4-for-4. He's never lost a race. He just won the Florida Derby in an absolute blowout. Florida Derby has produced 3 of the last 5 winners of the Kentucky Derby. He's put up 2 straight triple-digit speed figures, the only horse in the race to have done that. And he's breaking from the perfect post for a horse that wants to get to the lead and stay there. He's a real threat. If his odds are anywhere near the morning line, I think it's down to 6-1. He's a major play. Tacitus. Listen, Tacitus was bred to win Grade 1s. He's probably the best bred horse in the world right now. He's at his all-world champion sire, Tapit, and he's out of a mare Closed Hatches, who was a champion in her own right. Now, the best thing about Tacitus is that he hasn't lost as a 3-year-old. He's shown patience, he's shown grit, and he's shown determination in his races. He's come from as far back as 10, but he's also won when he's been on or near the lead. He's taken contact, which is definitely going to happen on Derby Day. You have 20 horses running. He's shown that he can handle all of that. Plus, he gets Jose Ortiz, who has a Triple Crown victory in the Belmont Stakes. So this horse is loaded from top to bottom. he's absolutely one to key on. Plus Parfait. You see how well my French was. He's the first Emirates winner that I think has a real chance. Traveling halfway across the world is a huge disadvantage. It's most likely going to doom his chances at winning or competing in this race. But he has shown late kick both last year in the Jockey Club and this year in the United Emirates Arab Emirates Derby. All that spells maybe in a perfect situation for him running up and collecting a non-competitive third, as we've seen in years past with Icebox, Commanding Curve. We've seen it quite a bit. 10 Cutting Humor. Todd Pletcher and Starlight team up for this horse. That's pretty much it. We can just go right by him. Heikel, he's another one. He's best under a mile, and I think he's going to have a nice 3-year-old season as a miler. He's just not a 10 furlong horse. Code of Honor got destroyed by Maximum Security in the Florida Derby. I think he's a decent horse, but to me, he's the classic Shug McGaughey entry that doesn't have a chance. Shug McGaughey entering a horse, taking a chance on a horse that doesn't have a chance. Time is a flat circle. Win, win, win. Well, he's consistently been second or third in all of the prep races. He lost to Tassis early on in Tampa Bay Derby, lost to Vekoma in the Bluegrass Stakes. He's shown no signs of being able to win on a grade 1 level, and he's not gonna on Saturday. Master Fencer qualified by way of the Japanese road into the Derby. I think it's kind of a cool marketing gimmick, but I do think it's a shame for a quality horse that probably could have a lot of success in Asia, and is just facing unsurmountable odds over a 12-hour flight, quarantine. You can say sayonara to Master Fencer. Game Winner, another one of Bob Bafford's, probably, like I said, trio of favorites. Game Winner's a game horse. He's aptly named. Unfortunately, he hasn't won as a 3-year-old, and I think he is in danger of becoming this year's, Shanghai Bobby, the classic 2-year-old champ who never fully develops. He's gritty, he's tough. He's never been completely out of a race. I think that's in large part due to the small fields he's been running in. And post 16 is an extremely tough obstacle to overcome. I expect him to put in a good performance. I expect him to make some noise somewhere throughout the race. He's a threat to hit the board, but I don't really consider him a threat to win. Roadster, the last of Bob Bafford's trio of favorites. This is probably my least favorite horse that is well thought of in this race. I don't like him. I don't like his running style. I don't think he's done much. He beat a 5-horse, 6-horse field in the Santa Anita Derby. It doesn't do much for me. He's not a play. Not today. Probably not for the whole year. Long Range Toddy. Look, he's shown glimpses of greatness. The Risen Star. Then he got murdered in the Arkansas Derby. He's training about as poorly as any horse in the country. Add that to the 18th post, which has only produced one winner, the Great American Pharaoh. And now all that eliminates what is otherwise a likable Asmussen entry. Spinoff ran a strong second in the Louisiana Derby, but that was under Johnny V. Pletcher has made the switch to Manny Franco, who, look, is a good jockey in his own right. He's won 3 straight Aqueduct titles in New York on the NYRA circuit. His only Derby start, he finished a distant 17th. At 30 to 1, he's worth playing in some exotics. If he goes up even more than that, maybe a small show bet. Country Horse, he's a compiler. It's this year's compiler. He ran in 1 million races. I think he ran in 8 prep races just to make it here. He doesn't belong being anywhere near this race. Probably doesn't belong to be on the Derby Day card in general. Bodie Express, he's in due to Omaha Scratch. Look, fast horse, good early speed. He's going to press the pace. It's probably going to set it up for a closer. Even somebody coming from mid-pack. I don't expect him to contend for too long, but I do expect him to be up to the front. You're going to hear his name called. That's a quick rundown of all 20 horses. So now you're saying who's going to win? Look, the Derby is all about trends. Morning line favorite has won the Kentucky Derby 6 years in a row, but that morning line favorite scratched. So we got to move to the next trend. Every year since 2011, the winner of the Kentucky Derby has come from 1 of 3 races: the Florida Derby, the Santa Anita Derby, or the Arkansas Derby. Well, that leaves us with Maximum Security and Roadster. I already told you I don't like Roadster. I told you I like Maximum Security, so it's got to be him, right? Not so fast. Maximum Security is a good horse. He's up there, but he's not my winner because we don't follow trends. We make trends. Tacitus is the winner of the 2019 Kentucky Derby. He's the most versatile horse in the race. He's faced the most adversity along the Derby trail, and he's primed to end the long drought, 19 years, where Wood Memorial winners have not won the Kentucky Derby. Tacitus is your Kentucky Derby winner. Now, what's the betting strategies that are going to make us some serious cash? Like I said, Tacitus, he's your bet to win. Morning line 6-1. I think he's going to get bet pretty heavy. Might drop to 4-1. Might drop to 7-2. Anywhere in that range, I'd say he's a 40 to 50% win bet on your bankroll. By my standards, the 3-horse, if the odds hold near 50-1, you play him across the board. Okay? He's a good horse. Not sure he's going to win, but he's definitely going to be in the mix. Maximum Security. I loved him at 10-1 before Omaha got scratched. He's 5-1 now. Price is too short on a horse that I am worried about having to be on the lead, and can he carry the extra furlong? It's a little low for that. If his odds rise, definitely somebody to bet. Improbable, we're going to do a big Zac the Box with him, Tacitus, Vekoma, and Plouquet Parfait. 18th, long range Toddy. By no means does he have a chance to win, but at 30-1, and I expect him to probably be up 50-1 or higher by post time. Put a small show bet on him, and he's going to be used underneath on a lot of tickets. The aforementioned Plouquet Parfait, look, he's got closing kick that can come up and steal a show. 30-1, once again, I think he's going to be a little higher. You use him underneath on a lot of tickets, maybe a small show bet if his odds get high enough. Now, the last bet we're going to make is a decent-sized straight trifecta. We're going to go Tacitus over Improbable and War of Will over Plouquet Parfait and Code of Honor. So that's it. Those are the horses. Those are your bets. Tacitus is your winner. Have fun this Saturday. Remember, enjoy the races, root as hard as you can, win a lot of money, and always remember, if you don't bet, you can't win.